welcome along and welcome back to Attingham Park. We are going to be using, well, all of this equipment today, except for the combines. The combines, of course, come back from field 6 and the harvest last time. But we need to get all the canola drilled today in our remaining fields and rolled in. So these two tractors are going to be hard at work while this one supports it. Now, the reason why I haven't started moving in a tractor this morning is because I want to address something from the last video. A couple of comments basically saying that it was... Okay, I don't think last time I was true to this series. I think I made a mistake and I should have lost some money on, or lost some crop on field 6. So I'm going to address this straight off today. I want to make sure that we do stay true to this series and that we can actually fail as we should have yesterday. So looking at precision farming and looking at what we got off field 6, we made, or our estimated yield and profit off there is £18,000. I am going to remove £5,000 from my money to even things up there, because yeah, we shouldn't have made that much. So we'll pop into here. We're going to remove 5,000, and I think that's fair. We'll take a £5,000 penalty for basically not being realistic enough, and I think that's fair enough. And then we can crack on with this and get the rest of our fields done today, and hopefully do better next year. And getting the canola in as early as possible is a big part of that. Now, yes, we want this entrance here. We're going to do this field first. So we're putting in the sorghum fields. In all of the sorghum fields is where the canola's going in. We will get this started. So clear that off. Get a new course created. 3 headlands, 1 tool, and yep, that all looks good. Generate me a course. That is perfect. So yeah, really good course running on here. And so yeah, we're looking at getting the canola in as early as possible. We should have it in by mid-October, which is brilliant. Plan to have it rolled today as well. I don't mind the roller going into the evening. I think that is fairly normal. It was more last time that I very much made a mistake in the morning. Should have got onto the harvest quicker, and as a result, shouldn't have been able to harvest as much as I did or as well as I did. And so yeah, let's I'm gonna keep that in mind going forwards. We have a little bit of a dip there, so I want to take that up to at least that level there. We want that closed. First waypoint, and away it goes. And this should then get the canola into here. What have we got? It does say canola, doesn't it? Yep, canola is going in and is growing. So we'll let this field get going, and then we're going to head over to field 6, actually, to get the last field of canola in today. In the meantime, field 6 needs mulching. So we're going to take the 8340 here down there and get that done. What I want to do first, though, is actually get it filled up with some fuel, because it's not got a massive amount in the fuel tank. Probably got enough to do the job, but we might as well get it filled up and done. So we need to get all of our fields mulched before we get them planted, and then we're going to be in a very good position going forwards after that. I'm still trying to decide what to do with our slurry. We've got a lot of slurry on here, and yes, it should be on the fields, but we're gonna have to get it on the fields earlier to do it. We might do it on the sorghum fields actually this year. So get the slurry onto those fields and before they get planted in the spring, and maybe reduce our fertilizer cost a little bit there. The advantage of that as well is we'll be able to afford some slurry equipment once we've sold off this year's crops. So down and round to field 6 and yeah, get this mulched. We've done more mulching on this field than anything else, I think. Bring this here, clear off the course we've got, new course, and yeah, that's all looking good. Generate it. And there we go. So starting at the bottom. Hopefully this will be able to turn around at the bottom here. That's the reason for 3 headlands on here, is that this field tended to, in the past, cause us issues with turning around on this very shallow angle down here. And there's no real way around it on this field. So 3 headlands is kind of what you have to do. First waypoint, fold out our mulcher. Perfect. And away it goes. And yeah, that is our second piece of kit away and doing its job today. And that brings me to our support tractor. We need to get this up onto the field next to where we are, and we need to load up the seed onto it. So let's get that back onto the trailer and hopefully be able to get that over there. Everything's strapped down at the moment. It should go on there. Let's just put that there like that. I can see the small bag, I think, that's already been used. So we won't put that. We'll keep that on the front of the tractor. Load this up. And into here. We still have an active contract. We took a contract, I think by mistake, on field 20 before harvest. And it's still kicking around. I have no way of completing it. And I think we need to clear it off. Because we have no grass working equipment on the farm. And there's no grass working equipment up at the shop. So, yeah, definitely a mistakenly taken contract that we need to clear off. Let's just grab this last one of these, and then we can hook everything up on the front. Or everything up on the back, sorry, on my weight. And we just need to lock down those 2 bags as well. So, there and no, there. All good, right. And then we'll get this to the field and then deal with that contract. With the seeds in place, we can bring the 7610 down with the rollers on the back. So we will be getting this doing all the rolling. Just looking at the weeds, actually, that have cropped up on our first canola field. We're going to want to get rid of those in the near future. I think our best bet for that is going to be the 8340. So getting that working on getting rid of those weeds. We should be able to put some care wheels on that. Now, this tractor, I am just going to park up ahead of the Zebra, because I want to just leave this here for now. I wonder if I can get it to roll actually ahead of or behind this. As long as I've got a bigger overlap on my roller than the Cedar has on the headlands, we should be good, I think. But I'm very cautious of it. I'd like everything to sort of run a bit smoother today, and certainly where we are at the moment, we should be able to do that. Our seeder has just run out of seed though, so we're going to grab this end bag off. Let's undo both of those straps, because it's almost guaranteed that second strap would keep that on. Grab that off the back. we've got a fairly good system going, I think, now with keeping our seeder running with fertilizer and seed. It's working quite well, so I'm very happy with that. Let's open these up. There we go. Ladder coming down. Top's opening. This will take all of this bag of seed. And I'm only doing a bag of seed at a time in here. It does mean that we end up refilling more often, but also means we're doing less back and forth when we are refilling. So all of that in there. And then get this backed up. Start the engine up. Right, and like, oh, go on. There we go. Back it up. Make sure we've got a bit of overlap still. I'm just going to jump out and close my covers. Like that. And then nearest waypoint, and off it goes again. And yeah, first field is not looking too bad. I think we're going to get all the canola in today. We may even get started on one of the fields of wheat if we're lucky. But the seed are a fair way across the field now. I want to see if I can set up this roller to get started. It doesn't matter if it sort of overlaps a little bit. Ideally, we would want it to go at the same setup as the other. Now, on here, we'll clear that off. This course is going to be 6 meters. So 3 headlands, and generate me a course on 2C. So we seem to be fairly good. We'll take it over to the top corner and we'll see how much it overlaps or doesn't with the headlands. But my first waypoint is up here. Let's unfold this. Get myself in line. And oh wow, that's quite an overlap. That's actually really good. So if we back this up a little bit, this should mean that the roller stays inside of where we have already seeded. And then the seeder will be in a place where we can yeah, so it won't overlap with our seeder at all, and should mean that our seeder gets to finish the field. We, with any luck, won't have any collisions on the headlands if they keep away from each other, and then yeah, this field will get done quicker because we're rolling as we're seeding. And yeah, that's perfect. I'm really pleased that that's worked out the way it has. Incredibly, considering the fertilizer usage we've got on this field, it looks like we're going to make it to the end of the field without having to fill up again. Having said that, our amount of fertilizer we're putting on the field does seem to be suboptimal. We don't seem to be putting everything on here we want. We do have a little fertilizer spreader though, so I am considering, seeing as these tractors come with the Isaria add-on, getting that added onto one of these, probably the 7810 here, and then just topping up with a little bit of extra fertilizer. I know that we said very much that we're trying to avoid more modern stuff on these older tractors, but I'm just wondering if that's worth way going. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. It's an interesting thought to maybe just finish things off with that, so that we're not using it on here. We're not using the variable seed rate or anything that wouldn't be on this seeder, but with the Isaria coming on this tractor, I'm just wondering if that's something that maybe we should have go with, and just a smidge of modern technology to help us along would add another job to the farm. But I think that would work as far as what we're doing on here. Now we have, yeah, 24% left of the fertilizer and 40% left of the seed. I can't believe how much seed we've still got left on here. So there's a fair amount to go, but we are onto the headlands, and it looks like our consumables in here are going to make it to the end of the field. I think my hopes of getting 2 fields planted today are a little bit unrealistic. We're only coming to the end of field 6 now, as far as getting it mulched, and we're not ready to immediately start planting. We might get planting on here today. I think we may get a little way into this field, which would be good. That would allow us to get a field and a half planted per day, which would hit our target for the end of November, because that would mean we can get a field of wheat planted tomorrow as well, especially if we pick the right field of wheat, and then that just leaves us with 2 fields that need to be planted by the end of November, which would be really, really good. I'd be very happy with that, to get all of my canola and all of my winter wheat planted by the end of November. Is going to free us up a lot in the spring to be able to get some probably spring barley. I think we're going to add spring barley this year, because the likelihood is we're going to have enough money to buy 1, maybe 2 more fields from this side of the river, which is going to be huge. It's either that, or we might go and buy field 14 on our farm, which does look like it's already planted. That would save us a whole whack of trouble if we did that. First though, our little 7610 is being blocked by the cedar, so I need to move that forward, because yeah, the cedar, despite what I thought where we were, is out of fertilizer, so we need to get that refilled. So bring a bag of fertilizer out and around here. Nice efficient way of doing this is. And then get this refilled. Actually, yeah, there it is. See the top of it, and that then loads into there. Reverse this up. Hopefully we can get this going again before our roller gets back down here. So there we are. That is done. Back this off. We'll then back this up carefully so as to try and stay on the line. And want my my blue indicator back as well. Right, jump out, close up all of that, and then away it goes again. And with any luck, not missing a big patch of fertilization. No. And out of the way of our roller before it returns. Perfect. Just need to go and put this back with our trailer. And then we can resume with this down here and drop, well, get this field of... have we done this? Oh, we might have done this. I didn't think we had. 12C. Has this been mulched? It would be amazing if it has. I think 12C's been mulched, actually. If I turn off the weeds, yes, we've already mulched it. So we've just got field 1 and field 2A to do. So we'll head back up there, get field 1 mulched. Means I'm actually a little bit ahead of myself. We've got everything mulched except for 2 last fields. And field 2A we don't need to worry about, because that is where sorghum's going in the spring. So just field 1 needs doing, and then we can address the horrible weeds tomorrow that are in field 12A. We need to get our hoe and get those sorted. I'm actually quite pleased. I couldn't see the mulched status of 12C due to all the weeds that were on it. So it's quite good that that is all nicely done. Let's clear this off. Then we can go and set a course. Field 1, generate me a field work course. Field 1 always seems to want to go crossways like that. And I'm not sure that is the most efficient way to do this. So I need to set it so that... oh, no, we've got a manual direction on here. Let's go longest edge and see what that generates. There we go. That's a little bit better, but not quite. Automatic. There we are. That is what we want. Proper north-south setup. And we want to show our start and end points. We'll show our start point here. First waypoint. And yeah, we'll get this mulched. I don't know whether we'll get through this today. Hopefully we might. Because ideally I want this tractor on the weeding job tomorrow in order to get field 12A done. Now, one thing you might have noticed on here is that we've had the variable seed rate running on the seeder. It doesn't actually matter. The seed, this is solid loam, this field. So the variable seed rate is not going to change any more than the manual seed rate would as a result. That is this field done and dusted and finished, though. So we need to get this seeder now over to the other field, over to field 6, which I'm actually going to leave it on the back of here because this seeder does not detach with manual attach at the moment. I need to go and have a fiddle with the mod and see if I can make it work. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to brave the traffic with it, I think, and get it over to the other field, to field 6. It is 3:30 in the afternoon, so we do want to be getting this working on field 6. If we can get halfway through that field today, that is going to be a big bonus to us. So down to field 6, and what we can do now is get this set up. Clear off our existing course, set this up on here. We're relying on course play quite a bit on this series now, and it's because we've got to this point where we got lots of fields we're trying to do at once, so it makes sense to use course play on here like this. We got 3 headlands, yes, all good. Are we on manual? No, we're on automatic. Generate me a course. There we go. It will finish down here, and hopefully, starting in the bottom corner over there, we're going to be all right. There's bits of this field that don't need a huge amount of... oh, it's silty clay. So, yeah, we want to reduce... I think we might want to reduce our... Oh, wow, this is so variable, this field, in its application rate. So I'd rather be a little bit on the cautious side and be a little bit under than too far over and spend too much on here. We can always, as I said earlier, see if we can maybe add a little bit of modern technology for topping up stuff. Right, there we go. From here, I want to do first waypoint. We want canola in here because this was sorghum, and away it goes. And we'll just make sure that it gets round these corners. I think it's going to be all right, but yeah, worth making sure it can. It's this edge here, and as long as it makes it round, yep. We are all good. This can get going. Of course, if that is going, we need to get the support trailer with it. So let's put a bag of seeds on the front of this. Like so. There we are. Give us a little bit of counterweight on the front. Hook this up at the back, then we won't be wheeling our way all the way there. And off we go and support the seeder. While our roller is continuing on this field. Support tractor down to field 6. And yeah, looks like our seeder is still going strong down here. Let's drop that off. because I'm willing to bet that we run out of fertilizer again before we run out of seed on here. So I want to drop off the seed bag like that. And then this tractor is ready and waiting. Actually, possibly should have filled out with some fuel, but we're okay. I am having a quick look at field 20. Yeah, it is a baling contract. We don't have the equipment for it, so I am gonna cancel that contract. Yes. And it won't cost us anything, so we'll just collect. There are a ton of baling contracts available at the moment, along with a whole load of other stuff and a couple of harvesting contracts on a couple of smaller fields as well. But yeah, we're fairly. That is a ridiculous tractor to have on this around here. But yeah, that is all good. I'm going to head back to the main farm and keep an eye on our roller because that needs to come up here next. Coming up on the last bit of field 2C, and yeah, that is nicely rolled in and looking pretty good. It seems to have missed a couple of bits. I think it basically didn't put the roller down on the corners, or didn't do sharp corners, which is fine. It's not a perfect job, but it's a good enough job to get us the level that we need and an increase in yield. Now this tractor will need to go over to field 6, but it is 26 minutes past 5, and yeah, it's getting a little late for that. So I think we're going to take this up to the yard, give it a quick wash because that won't help its wear and tear, and give it a bit of a drink and up the diesel in it. Field 1 is going well. We've got well, that will be up on the headlands and we'll get that finished tonight, so that's good news. And the cedar, well, the cedar will finish work in a smidge, and we'll do that. So let's just fill this up, and then we'll move it forward slightly and get it just cleaned down quickly. It's going to get dirty again tomorrow, but getting it, keeping the mud off is actually a fairly good idea for keeping this going and keeping our 7610 going longer. Lost a lot of paint now, this, but it is a good little tractor, this. I love that we've got both a 7610 and a 7810 on here, and that they're both really good workhorses for the farm. Is great news, along with our 8340 just being a great little tractor as well. Is brilliant, and then the Zebra fulfilling that front loader role really nicely. Our cedar is having a little bit of trouble with the headlands here, though. The hedge has got to the point where it's just a little bit wider out. So what I think we'll do is I'm going to leave the cedar here for this evening. We're fairly good for that. And if we check over here, our mulcher is onto the headlands. So yeah, this can stay out a little bit longer and get this field done. And we will pick up the seeding again tomorrow for the canola, get that field finished, and then I think we'll head over and we'll start getting some winter wheat in, probably on 2B, because we're going to have to turn around the rolling on that fairly quickly. But for now, we're going to leave this here, so all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.